Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we are getting back into Alchemy. So whilst I've been away sunning myself and achieving this beautiful tan, Wizards of the Coast have been busy releasing some new Alchemy cards for me to play with. So I came straight back, opened a couple of packs, and what we landed on is some mono black. So the new cards that we are playing with today are Sheoldred's Assimilator. So this is a 1 and a black. I opened 3 of these. This is our first deck that we're building around, and to be honest this would have been one of the cards I would have chosen if I could have chosen, as it looks amazing. So this is a 3/1 for 2 Phyrexian Horror with Menace. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from either graveyard. If a card is exiled this way, you may conjure a duplicate of that card into the top 5 cards of your library at random. So if we have been using some cheap removal spells to remove our opponent's stuff, we can exile one of those cards from our own graveyard, the removal spell, and get another copy into the top 5. So we can replenish our own removal spells with this, not immediately, but over the next few turns. Obviously 2 to 3 turns on average, or we can exile our opponent's creatures if they are black. Because we're playing mono black, we'll only be able to play their creatures if they are the right colour, or we can exile our own creatures or whatever we want. So to make the most of this, what sprung to mind really is running this obvious old horrible card that everyone knows and loves, Invoke Despair. Because if we Invoke Despair, we are then going to draw some cards. We could then exile Invoke Despair from our own graveyard, and then we know we've got an Invoke Despair in the top 5 cards of our deck. And the one thing about Invoke Despairs is you always keep getting more and more Invoke Despairs. Well, this way we can guarantee that we will have Invoke Despair forever, which can basically keep an opponent shut all the way down, especially if we can remove their stuff early game, keep their board to a minimum. So this is our kind of like recursive brutality in the deck, but I also wanted to make sure that we had lots of other cheap instants and sorceries in the deck that we may want to assimilate back into our deck using the Assimilator, one of which is the March Toward Perfection, which is a new sorcery. I'm only running 2 of these, but it is an uncommon, so I could run 4 if I wanted. But we're just trying this out. So this is a 1 costing sorcery. You get a boon with the next. When you cast your next Phyrexian creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter and Death Touch counter on it. So a little bit like Tenacious Pup type effect. Buffs your next Phyrexian creature, and then you draft a card from the spellbook. And the spellbook is, unsurprisingly, all Phyrexian creatures. The ones that stand out to me are Phyrexian Fleshgorger, obviously great card. If this is our next creature, well great, a 4/4 Menace lifelink with ward 4 life is even better than a 3/3. The Phyrexian Obliterator, obviously good card. The Phyrexian Revoker, so this is obviously a card that is not in standard, but is actually a really powerful card. So this is a 2 costing 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Activated abilities of source with the chosen name can't be activated. This is good in Alchemy. The reason being that there's lots of anvil decks, there's lots of like planeswalker-y decks of some kind, there's Brick and a Bank Busters, and this thing can interact with all that, and early on, and we can choose to select it or not. So I think it's actually a brilliant thing to have it in a spellbook. Scourge could be okay in certain situations where we've got a bit of a walking creature deadlock on the board. And the Skull Dweller, a 1/1 toxic, could be helpful. Archfiend of the Dross. So 6/6 obviously can be 6/6 flyer can be the thing that swings the game for us. Mire Convert is a 2/1 toxic 1 with pay 2 life and add 1 mana of any colour, so this could ramp us into the Invoke Despair a bit quicker than we may otherwise do, which can also be a nice thing to do. The Zenith Chronicler, so because we're playing mono black, this can give us a 3/1, which whenever a player casts their first multicolour spell each turn, each other player draws a card. So if we know our opponent's on Rakdos or Rusko or things like that, this could be a very nice little card. The Soulless Jailer, it stops people bringing stuff back from graveyards. This is not really one that we're going to pick a lot because we are running Tenacious Underdog ourselves, but you never know, could interact with a complete graveyard strategy for us. This Returner I think is trash. So About half the cards in this spellbook are good, and it's also very flexible. Lots of different like answers in there for various things that mono black could otherwise struggle with. So I think this is actually going to be a good card. Let's see. So the other cheap spells that we potentially target with Assimilator: 3 cut downs. Alchemy is a cut down meta. You have to be running cut down because of mono red. That's also why we're running 2 copies of Lonely End. I used this in the last Alchemy standard, and if you weren't the starting player, you gain 2 life. And then you can either give a creature -3/3 or move 3 loyalty counters from target planeswalker. Is very nice because if you on the draw against mono red, it can just be a snowball otherwise. 2 go for the throats, destroy target non-artifact creature. 2 Sheoldred's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature, or each opponent sacrifices a token, or each opponent sacrifices a planeswalker. Choose one of those. Very flexible removal spell. 1 Black Sun's Twilight, because it can remove creatures of any size and bring back our creatures. This combined with the Assimilator could be a nice little funny combo where we can destroy something of theirs, bring something of ours back, exile the Twilight from our own deck, from our own graveyard, draw it off our deck again, and keep doing the same thing. So this could be a bit of a value engine with the Assimilator in a similar way to what Invoke Despair can be. And then we're running a creature package. So the creature package is 3 Underdogs, 2 Trespassers. So the Trespassers I'm only running 2 because we're running 3 Assimilators. We've got quite a bit of graveyard hate in there anyway. We're then running 3 Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Can't not run Sheoldred really, it's so good. 2 Phyrexian Obliterators. We're running mono black, and this seems to go quite well in this deck, especially since we can buff our Phyrexians to have Death Touch with March toward Perfection. Putting Death Touch on something that's a 5/5 trample for 4 and making it 6/6 trample for 4 with Death Touch is pretty amazing. This is basically 6 guaranteed damage every turn unless our opponent wants to sacrifice a load of permanents, and then Invoke Despair, Phyrexian Fleshgorger. Note that I have pretty much stuck to Phyrexian creatures outside of the Trespasser and the Underdog, which are just too good to pass up. But note we'll always have a creature because that's what we get out of the spellbook anyway, but we can choose not to play that and play one of our other Phyrexians first if we'd rather buff those. I am running 1 copy of Arena just for the extra card draw, and there's a few like grindy decks in this matchup like the Ruskos and the Oracle of the Alphas, so this can just give us that extra card advantage to get out of those situations, and 2 Lilianas to force more sacrifice, keep our opponent's creature numbers down, ready for the big Invoke Despair bomb. That's the deck really. We're only really running 5 new cards, but 5 is actually quite a big amount of cards to change in what is a very sort of tight and controlled meta in Alchemy. So 26 lands with 1 Takenuma, 25 swamps. That's the deck. Let's have some games and see how these new cards are. Can't wait to be back and some Alchemy. Okay, here we go. Back to Alchemy, back to Magic. This is where we need to be. Got our march toward perfection. Yeah, let's see what we can find in this spellbook. Got our Assimilator as well. Revoker. Choose a non-land name. Activated abilities. Return target creature from your graveyard to hand, or they okay. Enters tapped. Let's go for this. Because, well, maybe this is an Anvil deck. This looks quite good against Anvil. I don't really know what's in the meta at the moment because I just came back. It is an Anvil deck. Only Cult Anvil. So let's put this in. Choose only Cult Anvil with our 3/2 Death Touch. Well, I could have a Voltage Surge or something, but that's okay. Harvester. So, I guess we'll go for an Underdog at this stage. They'll probably Harvester on the Revoker just to get rid of it, but at least we got rid of a Harvester. Snapping his Anvil, like, why? What? Fatal Grudge. Yeah. That's okay. For now, I guess we care more about having Sheoldred alive, don't we? I mean, we want both, but let's go Obliterator. See what removal they've got for this bad boy. They're probably running Go for the Throats as their only, like, destroy. Because they're probably running Surges, which they obviously don't want to do on this. Or Harvesters. Okay, that gives them enough blood to deal with the Obliterator. So, I don't want to give them an opportunity to use it on Sheoldred, to be honest. And I want to use this after we've put Sheoldred down, so let's go for Liliana. That'll just get rid of one of these, probably. Okay. Conjure a duplicate into the top 5, so if we do it on the Revoker, we can get rid of the Anvil again. This is going to get killed by the Harvester anyway, so might as well get in for 5. And then we can play Sheoldred next turn. That is not a surprise. What was that? Falcon Wrath Forebear. Really is a blood deck. Yeah, no point blocking because they're killing Liliana anyway, which is fine.
It's no fun when they hit back.
As long as we can avoid taking damage. Okay. Sheoldred. Do we force them to sack those 2 bloods for the forebear? No, I think we just take an Obliterator into our top 5, don't we? Because Obliterator's so good against this deck. The opponent's down to 9 as well. There's a lot of damage going on. They didn't even use the forebear. That's interesting. Maybe they have another Harvester in their hand to try and get rid of Sheoldred with. They've got a brushstroke they want to use first. They haven't got the black for forebear now though. Ah, there they have. Because then it does 2 more damage to bring it back. Yeah, you can shoot over the top with your anvil for now. We can get rid of the brushstroke, at least. Sadly, the Blood Artist we don't have removal for. There are cut downs, Black Sun's Twilight, Go for the Throats, Lonely Ends in this deck. Interesting. Whole load of Phyrexian goblins to soak up this. Let's see what we get. Because we're going to get to draw 1. You wouldn't sack the full there, that would be madness. Yeah. Okay, Revoker's nice. So we can nobble the anvil again. We might have to block with the Assimilator. There's nothing really worth blocking, in fairness. Apart from the Foundry, maybe, but... So that creates a blood. Yeah. Your anvil's been nobbled again, I'm afraid. If we can beat an anvil deck, I'll be very happy. There's our copy of Obliterator that we shuffled in. Do we Underdog though? Or do we Obliterator? We probably do use Obliterator, you know. Causes them big problems. Attack. We're going to win this race, so especially once we can start using our underdog. Put yourself on 1. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life, create a blood token. They gain life if something dies because they're blood artists, but they haven't bothered to do that. Okay, so they're just gonna die, right? If we don't attack. Yep. Sweet. On to the next one. Alright. We've had some success. Let's see how we do carrying on. It looks good. Got one of our Assimilators. Some mulliganing happening over here. Maybe is there a new combo deck in town? Toxic deck. Okay. Interesting. That's just Death Touch Toxic one, isn't it? Yeah, okay. We'll probably just kill that. And then we can Liliana and kill something else next turn. This deck's just too good, man. Okay. That obviously was nothing to do with the quality of my deck. I was just joking. This is a nice hand. We've got 26 lands in the deck, so hopefully we'll get some more swamps. I need to use this new feature to set my basic swamps, though, because we've still got these rubbish ones. I'll have a go at that after this game. No other swamp. We've still got a couple of draws. Mono black versus mono black, maybe. Yeah, we'll shoot that. We've got a Trespasser. Still no black. Slightly concerning. Another underdog. Great. What happened to my lands? Okay.
This is my home,
Minus.
and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
So we have got the Edict, but...
Off you
Aha.
go.
Trespasser, finally. I mean... Get rid of one of those. They can't minus the Liliana, which is nice. They can't Invoke Despair next turn. So hopefully we can get rid of both of their underdogs. Be nice if they play a Sheoldred, and then we get rid of Sheoldred with their own Edict. If we have to discard, I'll probably discard the Obliterator. It's black is its worst matchup, I would say. Didn't even plus this one.
Enough
Desperate to get rid of this Trespasser.
I've come for answers.
Fair enough, I suppose.
I've always hated crowds.
Guess we will pass. We can get rid of the Planeswalker or a creature with either of these cards. probably still get rid of the Obliterator just because we have a turn 4 that we want to do more, and we definitely don't want to get rid of Invoke Despair. And it looks like they're being forced to discard something they don't want to as well. Go for the throat. Let's use this one.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Okay, I'm expecting this Sheoldred to be killed then, given that they threw away another destroy spell, but we could have been being greedy. No. But we've got through some cards in their hand. We've actually managed to get more swamps down than they have. Curtains. Okay, our turn to make you sack something.
No more distractions. Let's make this. Off you go.
Back up to 4. Obliterator. Give me my... we definitely don't want to plus our Liliana. Because they're likely to have more 4 or 5 drops. We want to get to 5 swamps before they do, but we seem to be failing miserably. Oh. Ah, Invoke Despair. Come on. What is going on? Should we conjure and Invoke Despair, or do we get rid of their Underdog? Let's get rid of the Underdog. Do I want a copy of Underdog in my top 5? No, I probably don't, because we'll probably just draw it instead of lands. Did you still not get another land? You're only running 24 blacks, aren't you? I mean, either that or they're being as unlucky as we are. 16 cards and 4 lands when we're running 26 swamps. How is it possible? How is it possible? Trespasser. Okay, that's our Underdog gone, sadly. I'm pretty sure that's what you're going to do. Unless you're going to get rid of the Invoke Despairs just so we can't put one in our... And that would actually be a very sensible thing to do. Now get rid of Obliterator. Okay. Glutton, bye-bye. Evol Sleeper. Finally. Okay, those are pretty good cards. Right, then let's get rid of this Invoke Despair. And let's conjure one. Infinite Invoke Despair's coming up, baby. Whatever. What, you've got to be plussing your Sorin there against the Menace 3-1. Got to be plussing. As I did say, it is infinite Invoke Despairs. And then we just take this one. Every turn we shuffle one into the top 5. What is this absolute junk of a deck? Invoke Despair's rough enough anyway without having a way to infinitely draw them. Okay. Get rid of this. Not that we need to do it now, but that'll probably trigger a concede, so it's probably a quickest way to win. Maybe not. Give me some more Invoke Despairs. Sure. Let's go with this one. It's going to be a 3/3 lifelink with double death touch. Good game. You're gonna feel the ruin my Takenuma. But now, that's a last hurrah. GG, 3 for 3 so far. Come on. Where's my rank? Come on, boy. There we go. Alright. The Kutalut's let's do it. I guess we'll go Underdog first, unless there's any reason not to. Just because these are a bit more valuable to us alive. These are fine dead. God, we missed our land again. Don't know why we're bothering to play 26. One menace for 2. It's power creep, isn't it? With a massive upside. It's now gone there. Probably going to see a Crucius. They've always got one on turn 3. Oh no. Just Sheoldred Trespasser. I think a Fleshgorger is in order. We haven't got anything to trespass out of their graveyard. I don't want to remove something that we might want to assimilate. No. There's the old Crucius. Siphon Insights, it's Grixis. And then we'll play this and just get rid of their Siphon Insight, even though we can't. We won't conjure one because we can't use it. Just want to get rid of it. And we'll get him for 6 and heal for 3. So as long as we can get this Invoke Despair off next turn, I'd say we're in quite good shape. Okay, they had another Siphon Insight. They probably took a land. I don't know. Maybe an Invoke Despair. It was a land. No blocks. Not really incentivized to block here. When we've got such good attacks. Even if they are running Invoke, we've got an Underdog to suck. Okay. Now we can Trespass it. Get rid of that. Cost them a lot to get rid of the Trespasser if they choose to. Yeah. Well, Invoke Despair can get a bit soaked up by a Fable, but they can't counter us, so let's just attempt this now. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Trespasser. If we do assimilate anything, it's going to be a Invoke Despair now, so this seems right. We've got Underdog and Lonely in next turn. No blue mana for our opponent. Maybe that cost them. We don't know what was in their hand, but if they were holding counter spells, sucks to be them. Alright. The Dread Muffin. 4 for 4 so far, but only 3 real ones. Yeah, nice hand. We'll find something with our March. Ooh, yeah, Chronicler's nice in this deck. Take that. Don't know what our opponent's playing, obviously. Might be nothing multicoloured, but it's a 3-1. Probably are multicoloured things in this deck. And I think it'd be a 4-2 Death Touch. Can't be cut down. That's always the nice little advantage of that March, isn't it? So consider. I wonder if this is a Rusco deck then. This is an artifact as well, so relatively hard to get rid of. This will probably get countered, but we'll try. No. This is probably got the Power 9 card in it. Can't remember what it's called. Oracle of the Alpha. That's what it's called. Ooh. Yep, there it is. We draw. Very nice. Then we'll get rid of this so we can keep swinging for 4. Play our Underdog. Very nice. Bring it down to 11. We've got 7 power on the board and Invoke Despair active next turn. There's Rusco. We draw. Got so many cards. Spell Pierce is nice. But they're not blocking. So we can go for the throat on Rusco next turn. Still got 3 mana to use. Okay. Ledger Shredder going to be a 2/4. It's a bit annoying. A lot happened in that turn. So shall we go for the throat on this? Then we've got a set, we can threaten 7. Okay. Hopefully still in a good place. We could get a bit low here. As long as they've not got too many cards that draw them cards. They purposefully have to get rid of a non-land. We forced that in, you know, so... Let's see if we can get rid of Rusco. We can pay for Spell Pierce. Yeah. Okay. Just about came through that one. That was a bit closer. That was an interesting one, but... It's mono black deck, man. Alright, game number 6. Sheoldred. Yeah, it's probably good. Got all of our early game stuff, we just need to draw a little bit of late game stuff, but there's plenty in here to draw. Obliterators, Sheoldreds, Invoke Despairs, Fleshgorgers, etc. Anything 3 or above, to be honest, but we're happy drawing. So we'll probably get the Assimilator in. Nothing to exile now, but 3/1 Menace, not to be sniffed at. And Selesnya. Okay. Well, we can go straight around that. We wouldn't have been conjuring a companion into our hand anyway. Into our deck, I mean. And Obliterator is nice, as long as we get another swamp. Alchemy of Transience. That's nice to exile from the graveyard. Okay, let's cut that down. We'll leave the companion for now. We might as well hold on to this other removal we have. And that's it. Probably the wedding announcement. Yeah. Shall we now get rid of this? Probably. And then get rid of that one. Yeah, we'll conjure an Edict into our top of our deck. Don't mind if I do. Generous Visitor. Okay. Let's get rid of this. And we'll exile it. No, we don't want to copy. And we'll get rid of this. So they can't block. Well, they can block the Obliterator, but that doesn't seem like a great idea. Another Catilda. Reign of Truth is not that helpful to them because they're going to have to block with the Catilda. Let's see what we can find under here. Probably another one of these. Did we just attack with this? Yeah, I think so. Otherwise they can just block and life gain with Catilda. The real like pressure of being attacked by a 5/5 trample. Yeah. It's definitely going to cause you some problems. I wouldn't block them more than you need to. Just that, I mean, I wouldn't, but. Yeah, we'll kill off Catilda. And then some sacrificing is going to happen. And then there's another one. Here you go, and this one's 6/6 Death Touch. Good game. Sorry, dude. I know you wanted Selesnya to be good. Unfortunately, it isn't good. We won't be blocking, obviously. As tempting as it is to force them to sack all their remaining permanents, I don't think we need to go down that dance. GG. Alright. Doomzilla. Give this a go. Only one Mire removal spell, but oh, we get enchantments again. At least we can deal with the graveyard stuff. Ooh. Not enchantments, maybe. We might need this Lonely End against Lifelink. Uh-oh. Tamio safekeeping, have I fucked up? That's when Kawazi knew he fucked up. Yeah, at least we stopped the other one getting a blob. At least we got -/- as well. Inquisitor Captain. Ye olde. Overseer for gain some life and draw. Very nice. One of those voices can go through. Well, we'll definitely kill the other one while we can. Decline. And I think we'll take a lonely end in the top 5. As that could be helpful. It's tough. Yeah, those overseers are a right bitch. Haven't got a way of getting rid of this voice. We've got to go for the throats in the deck. Just not got them in hand. I think we're going to have to block. There is our lonely end, but that's not saving us right now. I think we'll just pass because we can kill one overseer. We can kill both overseers. Gain 2 life with this. I'm pretty sure we weren't the starting player. That could be a better kill target than one overseer though. And then we have to kill one of these. And unfortunately, we lose our first loss against Lifelink. 2 voices of the Blessed in the opening hand and not enough removal for us. GG. Okay. Popley. Yeah, I'm facing against a diamond player. We're only a mere platinum. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. 91 cards in the deck. Maybe this is why we're being placed against this player. Just a mountain. And another mountain. A mono red pile of everything, is it? We'll get rid of this now. Before it flips. Tonight. Hungry Ridge Wolf. Gets +1/+0 and has trample. We have another wolf or werewolf. Okay, we might as well play this and keep the numbers down.
This is my home, and I don't fish. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Oh, poor Liliana.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Good luck with this though. With 2 red mana. Suppose if they can get to 3 they might have a chance. No. Okay. Strangely the 100 card pile didn't work in a standard format, but never mind. Alright. Gengar. Let's do it. On the play finally. With a very nice looking hand. Bit of flexible removal. Something to hopefully give us extra life off of the creature we remove. A little bit extra removal. Beautiful. And then an Invoke Despair to top it all off. Sanders Lounge, so I was about to say, probably not an anvil deck. Straight into an anvil. Well, might as well get our creatures down, force them to start removing stuff. Trespasser's a pain to deal with. At the best of times, into Obliterator, into Invoke Despair, hopefully. They could have flat removal, but hard to use on a Trespasser. Harvester. And Ghast. God, I didn't miss this card. So I could get rid of the Harvester, I think, and then attack. And we'll hold on to our Edict. Whilst it would have been nice to get the Obliterator in, getting that is just too nice of a little combo. The Mycosynth Gardens becomes a target of a non-token artifact you control. Okay. Non-token, so they can make it into an anvil for 2. I suppose it could be something. I've not seen it used in these decks yet before, but okay, let's do non-token creature. They'll sack the Ghast. But it means they don't have a good block next turn, which they would otherwise have. And then we'll invoke first. Gets rid of the brushstroke. Which otherwise drains us out every time they sack a flipping blood. And we'll exile this Ghast for a little bit of life. Okay. Trying to force them to remove this Trespasser at cost so we can then have a very safe Obliterator, but they're not really going for it. Alright. So they'll probably anvil the blood, so the Liliana's not so useful. Because they'll be thinking they want to create a blocker. Although at least they do only get one blocker, I suppose, which they'll use, and we can then Liliana. Unless there's something else on their mind. Annihilating Glare. Well, we baited out some removal. There it was, and they had to throw away Phyrexian Arena for the pleasure, so that's nice. So do we Obliterator or do we Underdog and Liliana? Liliana's not that useful, but we could force them. I guess we could not Underdog and force them to discard their last card. Which they don't, we know that they want more than a Phyrexian Arena, so that is probably a good plan.
A fight? And you think you can win? Don't overthink things.
Yeah, no wonder they wanted it more. No wonder. And now all they've got is a lamb for their troubles. Yeah, Liliana's going to take some hits.
You know, I think you look better as a corpse.
They could turn this into an anvil, but I'm not sure what they would gain from doing that right now. It's going to be tapped even if they do it right, because you have to tap this to become an anvil. Oh, just so you get the trigger once more, I suppose. Obliterator it is. And we'll force them to sack a creature. Oh, it becomes a copy of it permanently, not till end of turn. I see. That is far more useful. Don't know why I always thought that was until end of turn. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Yeah. We're going to need this Fleshgorger as a little life linker to get us out of this. Nice. There's our life link. And then we'll empty their hand.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Just a land, but... They haven't got any blood to play with, so... I think we should get a turn of lifelink at least. So we can sack one more, that'll do 2 damage to us. Okay, that's good. Well, let's attack first. Get this Fleshgorger to hit something. Unless they have destroy for the Fleshgorgers. Hold on. This is 4 damage here, but we can remove one of these ahead of time. That's 2 damage. But we should gain 7. Oh, then we die. Shit. I just played that in the wrong order. Oh man, I suck. Alright. Seen forever. Let's see if I can play a bit better this game. I've not had my best outing. Hello. Got the cut down at least, that's nice. Very nice now. And Obliterator against mono red. That's also nice. Can't kill the Feldon with the Twilight, unfortunately. But we can give them something to aim at. Yep. Lightning strike away. So we'll be low. I'm just trying to work out if we could play this, whether we would, but we can't anyway. I think we'll just pass. This would be a 3-2, but I suppose we will use this. Just thinking about the traumatic pranks, the inevitable traumatic pranks. Okay, no traumatic pranks. We can just block a Swift Spear safely. So we can actually get the Obliterator down, but we have to pay 2 lives, we'll get to 7. Doesn't feel worth it, does it? Not when we can just hold the Twilight. Get rid of that to avoid them getting an extra card. Big spender trade is fine. And we just hope that that card isn't a traumatic prank. They're not even running it, are they? Oh dear. Okay. The awkward quiet. Very awkward. This looks like a good hand as long as we can get some lands. Death Toucher or Evoker? Revoker. In case it's more Anvil decks. I have no idea what it'll be then. So let's hold this and use the Lonely End. Give ourselves time to work out what's going on here. Ah. Aha! Reckon a Bank Buster. That will do. We will do a revoke of your abilities, my friend. Yeah, a little Shelly, why not? Something for them to deal with. Okay, I mean, the thing we really don't want them to have is the Jund removal spell. I can't remember what it's called. Unleash the Inferno, because they will be able to kill both of these. Ah, they've just got rid of my little dude. They want to use their Bank Buster, and they want to use it now. Yeah, okay, we'll go with this. Because opponent's starting to get a bit low already, so they can't really afford to just go drawing with Bank Buster anymore anyway. Maybe they want to be able to crew it. No, they do want to draw. Gosh, down to 6. It's bold. I'd say that's the end. We drew on a land as well. Just get rid of that one. Okay, that'll be aimed at Sheoldred then. Unfortunately, that's not going to do it for you. GG. Never a doubt. That Revoker. Beautiful. Okay, a quick look at the stats, which I know when I don't do them everyone gets upset, but we've done them and here are the stats. So, on a return to Alchemy, 13 games with this deck. Played 2 before the video and I think the 2 losses are on the video. Yeah, 85% win rate. Now I know I'm playing in Platinum, but that is because I've been away, so we need to do the grind back up to Mythic, but this looks like a damn good way to do it. 85% win rate, and now we know Mono Black is strong in Alchemy anyway. I mean, it's strong in Standard, but you know, with the couple of little Alchemy additions that we've made, I'm actually liking this deck. I'm not sure if we need the Twilight. It didn't play a big part in the video, did it? But you know, this March toward Perfection, I was impressed with the little the little dude that stops activated abilities is a little beast that comes out of here, I tell you, in this Alchemy meta. And then this Assimilator is a massive overperformer compared to how it reads. I mean, being able to just select, like, basically you can just keep tweaking the top 5 cards of your library, because you can put one in when it enters. Next turn you could put another one into the top 5, so you can keep packing that top 5 full of whatever you want, unless they remove this. And it's a 3/1 menace for 2. Like, I honestly think this card is massively good, and I'm going to try jamming it maybe into like a red-black deck with Crucius or something as well, because you know, you can't really play Alchemy and not play Crucius these days. But as far as this went, Mono Black 85%. We actually trashed the Rakdos decks as well. I know we did lose one, but you saw it was due to a misplay by me, really. I should have let that Phyrexian Fleshgorger land with the land a hit with the Blood Artists Alive. That was completely my bad. But yeah, we're trashing red, we're beating Rakdos easily, and we're even beating other mono black decks. I mean, what more is there to want? This is such a fun deck to play. You know, you always seem to be quite topped up with cards and interesting things to do, and it just seems well placed in the meta. So I'm going to use this for a bit of climbing. I suggest you do too. Thank you very much for watching the video, especially those who stayed to the end. I am back now, so we'll be churning a few more out over the coming days, mostly with Alchemy, just to play around with some of these new cards, but you never know, we might slip back into Standard, but it's unlikely. You know what I'm like, once I get stuck onto the Alchemy train, I do enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video soon. Bye for now.